Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be doing some Triglavian hunting in our extreme Paladin fit. There's got an extreme amount of bling, an extreme amount of expensive modules. We've previously used this and it worked out pretty well. I wanted to make a slight adjustment to the fit based off of you actually recommending that we could replace one of these modules here, the Tracking Computer Tech 2, with a web which will provide extra amount of tracking to the small downvic NPCs. Now I just need to make sure that this is the right fit here, because I don't recall us having these armor plates. It could be good to have an armor plate just in case of requiring extra buffer, but the thing is, I think in Triglavian hunting you probably will not want to have that because you want to have as much armor repair as possible. So let's see, a Paladin Extreme Pally. Yep, as I thought, to these Multispectrum Energized membranes. So it was good I made notes of that. And also, I didn't have that prop module or the two camp batteries. I had two application modules. So we'll remove one of these camp batteries here, and we'll place a Webifier. Webifiers, as far as I understand, that's what the viewer told me, is that they don't actually stack with the grapplers, so they work extremely well in conjunction to be able to slow the enemies. So we'll have this, and then remove these plates here. We've got A-type multispectrum. A-type multispectrum. We'll see if we've got this here. Centum A-type multispectrum membrane. There we go. So we have still a decent amount of EHP, not as much as before because we don't have the buffers. I've received intel that we've got Triglavians in the system of perimeter. This is a system line which I often explore to see if there are Triglavians there, and that is very close to Jita, and I actually found Triglavians straight away in perimeter. So we're going to go there. But before we go there, we'll have to change implants because I want to get as much performance out of this ship as possible. You need to use a good implant. So I've got them in this business tribunal over here. So we'll undock and go there. I want to use the instant undock on the Jita station because we've got a pretty expensive ship. It'll be unfortunate to lose it to some silly reasons such as getting ganked. I want to see here. This is the fit I used. Yeah, this is the fit I used for the Sancha event. So we're going to have to actually add some modules that make this more appropriate to Triglavian hunting in the ship's inventory, such as a mobile tracked unit. That can be pretty important, and as well as an MWD and a cloak. These are modules which we can equip, and also some cargo expanded cargo holds. And these will enable us to fit a travel fit that is capable of carrying a lot of cargo when we've gone out on a big expedition and got a lot of loot to haul back to the trade station. So we'll dock up here. I'm very curious how this new style will work with the Grappler plus web combo. I can see it being very potent in taking out the small stuff, but I'm worrying a bit about the Leshaks and stuff that is far away, which is basically just the Leshaks because they're the only NPCs that are very far away. But another reason is that they are like very worrisome to have not destroyed, is that they do the most amount of damage out of all Triglavian ships. So if you let them spool up, they're going to be doing massive amounts of damage. So we'll authorize change of this clone. Good, we've changed the clone to Asclepian, so this is going to boost our armor repair rate to a massive degree. Put this extreme pally, there we go. Undock here. We've got some solid resists, some really solid resists, 80% across the board with 500 armor repair rate. Okay, now let's go to Jita one last time because I need to get that mobile tractor unit to pull in the loot. We do have a tractor beam, which can be useful. I think that we should actually have a Salvager equipped. That'll be better than a mobile tractor beam because this is going to be a brawl style paladin. This is not a sniper style, which I often have been using before. That's why this ship has so much tank on it. And yes, I do think that actually it will be better to have the Salvager. I think it could be that I equip this for the Sancha event because often you will be sort of bottlenecked by the salvage time because you're not going to be able to use the salvage drones mid-combat since they'll get destroyed by the enemy NPCs. So that's why it's better to have a salvager on board so you can actually use the salvager mid-combat. Okay, what kind of tracking speed scripts do we have here? Got optimal range and a tracking speed there. Great. Okay. So we'll get the mobile tractor unit. There we go. And then we'll get 500 MN. Just put a cheap one in here. And a clocking device. We'll put an improved clocking device. And then we also would want to have a salvage module, which we can actually straight up just replace because we would want to have it here equipped. I don't think I want to have this tractor beam. Could be good to have, but I think it's just going to complicate matters a lot having a ton of different modules in my inventory that I don't use at all. Okay, go here, and undock. Let's make our way to perimeter. See if the Triglavians have scattered or they're still there or where they are. Sometimes they could be at the wormhole. I saw some at the wormhole before. Previously there was a Naga there. It could be that he's destroyed all of them, but the Naga... Oh, that's a cool skin on that Marshal. I've not seen that one before. The Nagas are pretty slow at destroying these Triglavians solo, but he seemed to have a sniper fit, which was very similar to the one I used before, and it works really well to go sniper style with a Naga in these Triglavian hunting campaigns. See now, that Marshal skin looks pretty cool. I've not seen it. It must be a new one that I'm not familiar with. See now, where is it? Black Ice. No, this is known from before. Is it? Oh, this does actually look maybe new. I'm not sure. This is the Red Stargazer. Okay. Oh, this must be some new one. Going for 2 billion. Okay. There we go, we've got some Triglavians here. We'll go to the wormhole. Trigwormy. The downside of doing this in perimeter is this is a much more populated system than a typical Triglavian hunting system, so it could be higher likelihood of encountering ganks. That is my main issue here. But it could also be good because this is a 1.0 system, so the response time of the Concord Police is going to be extremely fast, so we might be able to survive it. But I find that to be a bit unlikely since mostly these gankers are usually very prepared for all types of ships. Okay, so it seems like everything has been destroyed here. You can see he's got some mobile tractor units that he's been using to grab in stuff. I wonder if he got destroyed because it doesn't seem like... there is... Like this M2 doesn't seem to have been picked up. Maybe he died. He could have been destroyed actually. Kaldari battle cruiser. I wonder if he got destroyed. This was owned by Jink Frost. Okay, and we'll see who this M2 is belonging to. Oh, there he is. Okay, that's not him then. Yeah, okay, that's him. Let's see if we can find these Triglavians that we have on the D-scan. Okay, there are some. There are some not too far away. There we go, they're at this planet here, very likely. So we'll warp into 0 and see if we can take these guys out. So let's see our optimal range here with the optimal range script, because that is a very important thing with Conflag. So we should be able to destroy the Leshaks. I am, however, surprised that our Capacitor is pretty bad. Didn't know it was this bad. Why is our Capacitor this bad? It could be that I've got a wrong module or something in the rigs. Let's see now. Paladin. Extreme Paladin. Oh, I see. I had dual capacitor control circuits. Now I've only got one. Oh, that's a... Let's see if there's any in the system here. For 69 million. Seriously, I have to take one extra jump just to get them. It's so annoying. Let's destroy these guys, because I'm guessing that these are initial fleets that are sort of just sleeping or hibernating. I'll regret it later if that's not the case. And we can deploy our M2 straight away. Some really cool view we've got here over this planet, actually. That's really cool. That guy went down really fast. See if we can destroy this Vedmak. Okay, they're all aggressing. That's good. And it seems like we're getting some really good hits as well with the dual webs or grappler plus web combo. So far, I'm pretty happy with this. And if they're out of this web range, then usually they're going to be far enough away to get some good application going on. Let's see how this goes for the frigates over here. Yeah, we're getting grazing. Okay, ooh, that's nice. 1k volley. These are Rasnaborgs. They are a little bit easier to hit than standards because they go slower than normal Damoviks. Okay, so they're no more on the scan. It could be that this was an initial fleet that is supposed to be destroyed to get the big fleet spawning in. So I guess that it could be a sort of good time to prime up this system so that it's ready to be completely obliterated later. So this is what I mean, is that I can lock these up. Now there are no more Triglavians, so it doesn't matter, but if there were more, I could just salvage here simultaneously when I'm fighting them. So it works pretty smoothly here, you can see. The kind of dangerous waves that we could encounter are the ones where we would have lots of ghosters. It would be essential to take them out, and I can see then having these two modules being really good because they're going to be really great at destroying the Damoviks. Because as far as I know, only the Damoviks can be ghosters, the ones that make your tracking worse. So it's good that we specialize in being able to take them out, because then we'll be able to just quickly get our standard tracking, and we'll be able to take out then the high DPS Leshaks. So actually I think it's a very good strategy that we're using the dual webs like this. And this web is also not particularly expensive, the Federation Navy at 60 million ISK. This Grappler is much more expensive, costs 200 million, something like that. And we've got the salvage drones to help us out. We would never deploy these usually during combat because it would just be a nightmare to avoid them getting popped. Okay, let's see. Do we have... There's a skin actually that I've got for this ship. The Imperial Jubilee. I think that was pretty cool. I would say though my favorite is probably the EOM one here. I think it looks pretty cool. And it also sort of makes us look like we belong to the area since it matches the skybox a bit. Oh, we should not be destroying the wreck with our drones. We should be destroying them with our salvage drones. There we go, good. Get those salvage drones, please. Did we get anything of value from this? Okay, we got 5 million. Probably it was a lot from that Leshak, because they have a tendency to drop very large portions of loot if they do drop the Triglavian survey data. Okay, so we'll go to Jita, and we have to actually unbastion to be able to go to Jita. So we'll go to Jita, find the capacitor control circuit module, so that we can have more capacitor, because this doesn't feel nice to have this little amount of capacitor like we've got here. Let's see now, what kind of capacitor do we have with this equipped? Yeah, 10 gigajoules is still not a whole lot, but it feels a lot more stable than having to have -3. A lot better. Okay, there we go. We can go back to Jita now. Perimeter used to be a really good trade system. It used to be very nice where you could buy stuff from the Tranquility Trading Tower, and sometimes it would be even cheaper than in the Jita station. Now there's hardly any stock here, and it's almost always more expensive, to the point where it's just silly to buy stuff here. I think with some select modules it can be an alright decision to buy them here, but usually it's not. See, now we can buy Plex for an okay price here. It's still not the lowest though, it's the lowest by far in Jita. Yeah, we have to wait a few seconds because we were using Bastion Module there. Oh, we've got a big fleet now, that's great. So we'll take out that one fleet when we get back with the capacitor control circuit module. Dock up in the insta-dock. Great. I was thinking of testing a T6 Cerberus fit, because I've not tested a T6 Cerberus fit with since that new update that they've made to the Cerberus, which made it a lot more powerful. So the smoothness of a high blink Cerberus should be a lot more than it was before. Because the problem I had with max blink Cerberus with the T6 Abyss is that some waves, in particular the Cinnabals, which do high EM damage, can really wreck its tank, because they're really they do the exact damage type that the Cerberus is weak to, which is EM. But now that the Cerberus tank has overall been buffed with the shield boost bonus, I think it'll stand a lot better chance. And even before the buff, it was still able to do these kinds of waves. You just had to be really good at parting. So now I think it's going to be a lot more like dummy proof to do that. So that's something I was just thinking about when docking up here in Jita, because I often undock and do abyssal sites, but that is a thing of the past since you're not able to run T6s anywhere close to Jita now. Okay, let's see if we have a capacitor control circuit. Control circuit, we do not have any large ones that are Tech 2 in our inventory. Capacitor control circuit, large capacitor control circuit 2. Okay, 47 million. That's quite a bit of cash for one rig, but it is a Battleship Tech 2 rig. They're usually a bit more expensive. Okay, let's get that capacitor control circuit. Great. Now we've got some more capacitor. Great to see. Great to see. Undock. And we'll go back to perimeter. And I think perimeter is actually an instant undock here from the station almost. No, it's not really. I do have to align a bit. There's a paladin, a fellow paladin over there. Paragon Fulfillment Center. Where we can get lots of good skins. They have actually a skin on the station. I didn't notice this before. It's where you can, or not skins, but you can get points to be able to get emblems for your ships. Okay, we've got a big wave here. Let's go take that out. Seems to be over here in perimeter 9. Let's take on the Triglavians. Hopefully they're not just sleeping, but I have a feeling that they're not going to be sleeping Triglavians because they are Rasnaborgs in majority. Usually the initial waves that tend to sleep, they tend to be non-Rasnaborgs, I've noticed in my experience, but I could be wrong. Let's go on the general tab. Have everything ready. Do we have any little annoying frigates? Nope. There's no one here. I wonder where they are. Seem to be over at perimeter 10 now. Let's dock up in perimeter 10. Not dock up, travel to perimeter 10. Well, there's nothing here either. I wonder where these Triglavians are. Oh, I think it's because the angle was not aligned properly. Could that be the case? Could they be at the sun? They could be here. It's a bit hard to say because there's a lot of planets close to each other here, so that they're all going to be sort of picked up on the same scan. I think we'll be able to find them now that we're sort of closer to them, so we can sort of distinguish the closer planets better than when we were further away. Anything here? Nope, nothing here. This planet looks familiar. I feel like I've been here before. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. What about here? Okay. Perimeter 4. They're sort of all over the place. Triglavians do have a tendency to warp around sometimes, but I think that I've just scanned wrong because they don't usually warp around this much. Sometimes they can warp out just before you get there. But this, if they were just all the time warping here, then they would have, I think it's going to be unlikely that they were doing it exactly when we land. So I think I just scanned wrong. They have to be here. The scan says so. Yep, they are. Oh, Triglavian standing reduced. Yeah, we do not have a good reputation with the Triglavians. Lock these guys up. And deploy the MTU. Will they engage us? Does not seem like that's going to be the case, actually, because they seem to be sleeping. They're sleeping. Sleeping Triglavians were a very common encounter in the beginning of a Triglavian invasion. Or a Triglavian campaign where they're invading us. Let's go for that Kikimora. Getting grazing shots. We could actually switch so the tracking script here would help a bit to improve application. But it seems like we're just fine without it, actually. Considering that there are no Leshaks, we can actually just switch to it, because the only reason we want to have the range is that if we want to go for Leshak, since they are really far away, so they force us to have like a long range weaponry. Okay, then we've got some reinforcements going on. I think that there could be reinforcements that are coming from other planets. They sometimes do that. There are other planets, and they'll just the reinforcements come from other planets helping them out. Oh, okay, this is a decent amount of reinforcements, though. Yeah, this is definitely a decent amount of reinforcements. That's good. That's what I want to see. Now we're going to have to activate our armor repair. This guy here can be used as Nosferatu source. I'll deactivate this and put the range script so we can hit a bit further. I want to go for that Leshak before he gets too far away. Now is when we want to lock up some wrecks, now that it's a bit of a stable situation with all the locked up targets. So we can just go and salvage these guys. Meanwhile, so we have a whole row of targets like this so that it's easy for us to go for them. So a lot of the times the web is not going to be used because they're going to be too far away for them, but you're still going to have enough range, I feel. And the web is definitely going to help when it comes to these small guys here. Like, did you see that smashing sort of 2k volley? That's amazing for these Damaviks. This guy's too far away. This one we could go for. Oh, there's a Leshak over there. And we don't even have to use as much armor repairing as we're doing right now. But I'm just leaving it on just to make it a bit simpler. Otherwise we could save capacitor if we needed to. We don't need to because we've got a pretty stable capacitor. Lock up some of these Rasnaborgs, who are, or the Rasnaborg Rex, are really smooth. And this ship is an absolute beast. The downside to this, compared to say a Golem, is that the way the nature of the armor repair. Though the Golem is not an armor repair ship, it's a shield based ship, and armor repair ships in general, they have the downside of having a very long cycle time. It doesn't mean that the HP per second is bad, but it means that you have an increased tendency of over-repping. So you repair too much that it's not actually going to give you just a heal to max HP, and then all the extra HP you got is lost because the cycles are so big. The shield boosters, they have shorter cycles and smaller boosts, but they have about a similar amount of HP per second. So you have less over-repping there, so you can sort of save your shield boosting a bit better. And also, the shield boosters, they boost shields the moment you click on it. Unlike armor pairs, you have to wait for the whole cycle to be completed to get the armor. So you can think of it in general, the armor pair is just a bit more sluggish variants of shield boosters. So it's hard to like react really fast with armor pair just because of how it's very slow in general. Okay, so we've got two ghosters on us. We've got 44 kilometer fall off. It's not too bad. And we can destroy these ghosters hopefully very quickly because of our amazing tracking. And take it. Oh, that. Oh. Did you see that? That Drekavac went down so quickly. This ship feels better than a Golem, actually. It's an absolute animal of a ship here that just goes crazy on these guys. There we go. Oh, we should use both applicable. One shot. This thing is so good. It feels actually, this feels quite a bit quicker than a Golem. I feel like they're just respawning all the time here. Let's go for this guy. There's a renewing Rasnaborg Leshak here. Could be favorable for us to go for Leshaks first, just so that they're slightly more in range. They don't get out of range, even though we seem to be getting a lot of hit shots, like good application when they're far away. I still think it's going to be better to hit them when they're closer, because more likely of getting like these penetrating and really high damage shots. Let's go for that. Oh, this is really great to see how smooth this is. Oof. This feels actually better than Golem. Golem, a big benefit of it is it got a bit bigger buff, I believe. It's got more HP per second. I think it's got a bit more HP per second. I don't know how much more, but it's a bit more. It's also a bit more like twitchy in terms of its tank. It's a bit more easier to manually regulate it for capacitor here. The sluggish armor pair is a bit hard to sort of manually tweak and control it the same way, just because of how slow the cycles are. Let's go for this guy here. Come on, take out that Rodiva. There we go, good. There's a lot of NPCs accumulating here. And the Leshak goes down so quickly. I think that I destroyed a Drekavac really fast before because I must have got a wrecking shot or something like that, because now I'm not getting this like one shot like that I got on that Drekavac before. But when you got a good application, it does increase the likelihood of you getting these amazing shots like we got there. Glancing off 2k. Oof. But we're like a frigate killer here with 2 webs, because they can, we don't care about their stupid speed. They're going to get destroyed anyway. After the webs have kicked in, that is. There we go. Okay, get that salvage over there. There's a lot of NPCs spawning in here. I'm glad that we encountered some respawning NPCs straight out the gate. Often it'll happen that I just get a lot of these sleeping waves. Okay. We can lock up a few more wrecks. I'm surprised how I'm able to manage doing this, because usually when I'm a bit rusty doing Triglavian hunting, I've not done Triglavian hunting in a while, it goes really not so smoothly, but I feel like this Paladin is also in general pretty easy to use. You just try to use the web or the Grappler and pulse, and then use the web on the small stuff. Not too hard. Let's go for that Leshak. We can even preemptively web and grapple some of these small guys, like this ghost over here. It was a bit annoying. This tracking disruptor. There we go. Pulse him down. 1k volley. Great. Got liminal damage. I'm curious how well we'll apply to that guy. Because he's going to be harder to apply to than the Rasnabog, since he's a bit faster. Got a bit more speed. Okay, we're able to apply it. Not so good. Not as good as the Rasnabogs, which is understandable. Let's see if we put a tracking speed. I put Imperial Navy Multifrequency. Yeah, he goes down straight away. Okay. It was a bit overkill. That's everything. All our possible tracking modules were used on that guy. We can probably switch over to Conflag now. Put Conflag there. Lock up these wrecks. They're spawning for quite a while now. It feels like they're never going to stop spawning. You're one of these kind of endless waves that never decides to stop. But it's good because we get a lot of salvage from it. There we go. It's good that I pre-webbed that guy, so the Grappler only needed to take effect. So we can maybe get the first volley off on him. Okay, now it seems like the wave is subsiding. There's a lot of wrecks that are left because we destroyed them so fast we're not able to salvage in time. It's alright. It's not that bad. And the best thing is that we're doing brawl style here, so everything is really close. The main thing is that it's not too slow, or like that we're not destroying them so fast that our mobile tractor unit is not able to keep up. And there are some wrecks they're still not able to keep up. But it's not that bad. There's only like a select few wrecks that are far away. Because if that's the case, then we'll have to wait a really long time on the mobile tractor unit to pull everything in. So now is when we can start salvaging everything. And we can even start by assigning these drones to anything that's far away that doesn't contain a wreck. Because that means that there'll be less items for our MTU to pick up. Put this one here, and this one here. And then we'll have our salvager take anything that's close. We can always remove our Bastion module as well, so that we can more easily warp out if a potential ganker comes here, but I don't think there's much we will be able to do anyway, even if there was a ganker. That's good. So we take all the wrecks without looting, so that they don't need to be pulled in. Our drones can take care of them instead. Now I'm just destroying or salvaging all the wrecks that are further away, so our drones can sort of fly around and do work for us. Could perhaps be better to just keep them close, actually, because then they can really salvage fast everything, so that they don't have to fly a whole lot. So now that everything without a wreck has been pulled in, this last one here has been pulled in, I can just spread all the drones and have them salvage away. And this stage usually goes really quickly because everything's in a small ball here, so the drones barely have to fly at all. Oh, we've got a ton of loot here in the MTU, 30 million. And it seems like we've got about 77 million here in the inventory as well, so that's over 100 million from this encounter. That's really great. A lot of cash this Paladin is hauling in. So everything's salvaged here. Just waiting on those 2 loot containers. 83 million worth of salvage, that's a lot. Ooh, connection lost due to cluster shutdown. Oh, good that I recall my drones. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to get those cargo containers there. Well, we'll have to wait until the downtime has cleared to be able to retrieve all the loot. But we saw there it was over 100 million. It's 110 in fact, probably 120 even if we get those containers there. But really great is for how much time we spent here. And the Paladin works so well. And I really like this dual web style. It felt like taking out those annoying frigates is so much easier when you've got like the dual webs or the grappler plus web combo. Really smooth, really smooth. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.